All right, everybody, welcome back. I'm your host, Kimberly Lovey. We are in studio with Mehrnoush Yazdanyar and her big brother, Rouz Yazdanyar. Thank you guys for coming.
Thank you so much for having us.
So I've only known your baby sister, Melody, for since I'm 8 years old or something, just a short time. And it's so fun to get to have the whole family here today. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you so much. Honestly, this means a lot. And Melody actually has been a big part of this journey for the restaurant. This restaurant has been everything has been about family. So we're really grateful because, friendships like this, they are family. So thank you so much for including us.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, so I know Melody from back in the day from playing soccer, and you guys were always buzzing around sort of in the shadows. And I know that you guys had your own independent journeys career-wise, and now you've come together for a partnership. Is that right?
Yes.
Do you want to kick us off, Rouz, with
Sure.
what led you to this point?
So I actually opened up Zen Bistro at the same space
Yes.
back in 2006. So we were there for 20 years, had the 10-year lease, 2 5-year options, and it was kind of coming to the point last year where I was kind of contemplating either selling the restaurant, but then not figuring out what I wanted to do, or bringing a partner and making a change. And then that's where Nushi stepped in and she said, this is a family place. Because we grew up right across the street. So, I went to Westlake Elementary, Kalina, Westlake High School. So I'm a local Westlake kid. And our family was just like, this is like an iconic spot. It's probably the most beautiful location in Westlake. It's right on the water, right on the lake. So Nushi stepped in and she said, I want to partner up. I mean, she's a successful attorney. And I'm like, are you losing your mind? Do you have any idea how much stress this business has? I mean, I used to have an afro when I started in this business. So I'm like,
please,
you ready
don't
for
take
this?
my hair. You've taken so much.
It's okay. I have a great girl for extensions if you need her.
So my uncle is a contractor, so he said, well, I'll get the work done. So it kind of became a family thing. And my sister Melody actually came up with the name YAR on the Lake. So it's the last 3 letters of our last name. And it also in Farsi means like companion, friend. So you're basically bringing a companion and a friend to the lake.
Oh my gosh, you guys, I literally have chills all on my legs and arms right now. I did not realize that. Because Yazdan Yar, for those of you that didn't catch it, I love that name.
Yeah, it was, when Rouz was going back and forth kind of deciding, he had obviously a lot of people that were interested in partnering up with him or taking over the restaurant. And it was actually the memorial of one of our uncles who passed away in Iran. And his daughter was having just a small family gathering. And she had no idea. Rouz, my uncle, and I were discussing, going back and forth, like, what do we want to do? And she randomly had this story of before Rouz was in that space where it was dockside landing, totally different space. And our family grew up, as you know, in that house right across the lake. So this lake, this community, the landing has been a part of our lives well before it became what it is today, and well before Westlake was what it is today. We moved here in 1983. And in her speech, commemorating her father, she inadvertently says that she's like, my father loved this space because he used to sneak cigarettes. So he would walk, and this was like in the early 80s, and he would come and he would go where it was dockside landing. And she was telling this story, and she's like, and every time he'd come home, he said, this needs to be ours one day. This needs to be ours one day. And she had no idea. And she's telling the story. She's like, and I'm so glad that we're able to celebrate him in this space. This is our space. And I look over at him, and he's just crying, and he's looking at me like this, like, yeah, we're going to do this. And I was like, are we going to do this? Because I am from a totally different world. I mean, I've only been on the receiving end when I go to the restaurant in terms of ordering food. And I mean, you have no idea the tremendous amount of work everybody puts in from very early that day and for weeks before to provide you with any kind of decent experience, let alone an elevated experience. And I think as a patron or as a customer, we sometimes take that for granted.
Oh, yes.
So I had no idea what I was getting into.
It's no joke, restaurants. I can say, just observing my my husband and his family, really, it's not my restaurants, but it is truly a tremendous operation. And just, surviving COVID was a blessing for all of us, for all of the small business restaurant owners, all small business owners for that matter. Can you actually speak a little bit about how that went for you? Because it was not good for us.
Well, at first, I think for everybody, it was kind of the same thing. They're like, well, what's going to happen? How long are we going to be closed? What's how things are going to be? But once we kind of got lucky because back in 2018, I extended the restaurant out. So it was kind of like I added an extra 70 seats right on the lakefront. So a wraparound patio. So when COVID happened and all the stupid rules they had, you got to have a drink to eat, or you have to have food to have a drink, or else you're going to catch COVID, or you have to sit down, you can't stand up. All kinds of different stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So once they had, the reopening, we got lucky because we were right on the lake. And most of my seats was outside anyway, so I didn't lose a lot of seating. Whereas a lot of other restaurants, had to put the tents outside in the parking lots and things like that. So after we, even when we were partially open, we were having, probably the best years we had, like compared to other restaurants. Like 21, 22, 23 was pretty much the best selling years that compared to all the other restaurants. So we kind of got lucky with that just because of our location.
Oh, that is so lucky. And who could have predicted or planned for that? So what a blessing.
It was lucky we built that patio, and then all the doors, like even the inside, so it's all sliding doors around it, so it opens up. Mm-hmm. So when the health department came, they said, well, you can sit here too. So the only place I lost was my bar seating, and then obviously like live music and that kind of stuff. Right. But people that were sitting outside, I think everybody was drinking 3 times as much during COVID.
Oh, so, for sure. Present.
So that,
11 a.m. It's okay that I'm not sober, right?
So that was, that was kind of, and then we had a lot of, you make the best of it, right? So, when they shut us down, we're like, okay, I told the whole staff, come on in. It's like a grocery store. Like all the stuff is going to go bad.
That's
take
right.
The eggs, take the milk, take the food.
And it's crazy because the way that the restaurant is technically the restaurant falls in LA County, but literally across the street is Ventura County.
Right.
And so that has a different rule in terms of how many people that you can see if you're open, if you're not. And then here it's far stricter LA County rules applied. But again, and I even remember then, and this was way before I got involved in anything, but when it happened, we all came to the restaurant and we were trying to do the distancing and the signs.
Oh yeah, 6 feet.
Yeah, exactly. And it was just what a
ride.
I actually had your birthday party there while we were closed.
Oh, because it was March that everything was shut down, and then your birthday is in May.
Yeah,
we were still shut down, so we did kind of like a luau theme at the restaurant and ordered.
That kind of also was the beginning of my journey to Hawaii, because I moved basically during COVID. Melody it was my 40th birthday, and we were supposed to have, it was a huge party, and that had been planned. And I remember March happened, and I was like, oh, it'll work itself out by May. It'll work itself out by May. Like just naive,
right?
Woman that I was,
crazy, right?
And so when my 40th birthday happened, Melody and Rouz surprised me. They made all of the outside area like it was Hawaii. They brought like wood ranch and barbecue and like make it like a luau vibe. And then my sister got me a one-way ticket to Kauai. To this day, I don't know if it's because she loves me or if she was getting rid of me, but it was one of the best things that happened, because I have been in love with Kauai all my life and I wanted to live there. And I went there, and when I moved there during COVID, so I was there for 9 months, and that they have tough quarantine. You had to stay in your property for 14 days. But right. I was like, I can't not live without this island being a part of my life. So I ended up staying there. I ended up shipping my car out there. I ended up taking the bar and passing it there. I'm actually licensed to practice, and I have a practice. It's just that the restaurant business derailed my Hawaii practice for a little bit, which I'm looking forward to getting back to. But a lot of really amazing moments of our lives were celebrated at Zen, and the story of our family has been one of, we've been blessed with a lot of opportunities just as being able to immigrate to the United States in the early 80s. being able to live a completely different life than we would have if my father had kept us in Iran. But it wasn't without its ups and downs. 3 years after coming here, my father passed away very immediately. And so my mom was left with my brother, sister, and I. She was 3, I was 6, he was 12. And my uncle, her brother, came and basically helped raise us. And Westlake has been our home. Like, I mean, it's sometimes when people say, like, what's home? You know, I never got to experience Iran in a way that I could call it home, but it will always be home in the most special way, as in it's this beautiful culture and country that I'm from. Forget the government, the country, and the culture itself, you know, thousands and thousands of years. And so it became such a big part of the rebranding effort because it was obvious we wanted to keep the energy that my brother had spent 20 years creating at Zen, which is this atmosphere of togetherness, community, where everyone knows you, where you can go to celebrate, you know, a birthday, a celebration of life, a graduation, a baby shower, or just having a really tough day, you know, or just going and needing to see a familiar face that isn't a friend that you have to necessarily talk to, but that you can just get through that. And we wanted to capture that. We wanted it to be a place for community. And that's where Mel came up with the idea of YAR on the lake. It's your friend on the lake. And it's where you take your old friends, you can go make new friends. And we really wanted it to be hospitality forward because we're Iranian and everything is about hospitality. It's like our house, you come into our house, we're going to force feed you lots of food. We're going to make you stay. We're not going to let you leave. And then when you leave, we're going to give you stuff to take with. And that was the whole idea is it's Persian hospitality. This is your home and it's a family driven restaurant. And the biggest compliment that I have received so far is multiple people saying, I feel like I'm in my own living room. And that's been really beautiful, and it's been a wonderful opportunity for us as a family to be able to give back to the community that has given us so much.
It's just unbelievable. It's all, so many parts of your story, you know, separately and together are unbelievable. Going back to your dad. So what made him want to move? We actually didn't have any type of a political issue that would have forced him. But shortly after the revolution, it was obviously the direction that the country was going in was one that was going to hamper human rights, and that was a big deal for him, especially for the daughters. You know, the rights of women were severely limited, especially right after the revolution. And he had this opportunity, and he had a friend that lived somewhere in the valley. And remember, it was like
off of Roscoe.
So he said, come to Westlake Village. I mean, random. Like, how the hell? I was like, how the heck does an Iranian man from Gorgon, Iran, end up in Westlake Village? Right? Yeah, but I'm so
Gorgon literally is like a village in Iran.
Is it?
And then we
In the
moved to a
northern.
village in Westlake.
Well, it's grown now. It's not as
grown,
yeah, but it is in the
wasn't.
north. It's like not even a big city.
Yeah, I was going to say, I haven't heard of that town, but thank you for sharing that too.
So he and my mom, it was really hard for her because my mom had a tremendous community there. She was a teacher. She had a career. She was very well known. But even from her perspective, it was, you know, the opportunities that we were going to have here, the life that we were going to live here, the freedoms we were going to have here. It was something that they wouldn't be able to say no to. And I'm just forever grateful for what my mom did. I mean, she was like 38, 39 when my dad passed away. She didn't really speak English. She barely knew anything. And she could have easily packed us up and gone home because that's where her community was. That's where she would have had support. And she didn't. She sacrificed so much of her life to keep us here and to give us the opportunities that were given to us. And that was something that really weighed on us when we were deciding the future of the restaurant, because, I mean, an opportunity like what we have, this gorgeous space, this beautiful place, and we look at our old house every day. My mom still lives down the street. Like, it's like, you gotta, it's hard work. It was one of the hardest things that I've done. And I've done some pretty difficult things in my career and in my life. It was one of the absolute hardest things I've ever done. I thought I wasn't going to be able to succeed multiple times. And when I step into that space today and I look at this beautiful, beautiful team, this beautiful concept, this beautiful restaurant and the energy that fills it, it's like I have to pinch myself because it's for me, it's more beautiful than I could have ever imagined. And then the team, like I in my mind, and when we were speaking, I was always like, I want to do restaurant different. Like I don't want fighting. I want support. I want front of the house and back of the house to work together. I want us as a team. I want it to be a family. And it's only a month in, but that is what you feel. Like the staff is connected. There is no division between our kitchen and our front of the house. We have a tremendous executive chef that I cannot tell you enough about, who runs that restaurant as if he built it from the ground up. That's how much blood, sweat, and tears he puts in it. We have a general manager who I'm going to let Rouz tell you about her, because he's known her forever and worked with her forever, but she's tremendous. Our operations manager, and we're just so lucky. I mean, we're just so lucky. It all came together, and I remember that first day, I'm like, I feel Dad here. I feel his presence, like, and I feel his protection, and I feel like he is going to help us deliver the best version of this restaurant to this community.
Wow. That story strikes me on a lot of levels, because as a newer founder myself, I've really learned how important purpose is and authenticity, and because the hard work and the uncertainty of it all, the financial implications of everything. I mean, it's terrifying. I don't know why people celebrate entrepreneurship and make it seem like it's some shiny, easy, medal or something. It's a warrior badge, right? It is not for the faint of heart, and you do really have to have a deep purpose and heart for it. And what you're describing to me, I feel it, and for both of you, without you even getting a word in. How are you doing over there, my lady?
I'm doing great. Well, it was a little, I guess like any new business. I mean, I was there for 20 years, but it had gotten to the point where towards the end of it, the last couple of years, I was kind of doing everything myself. I was the bar manager, general manager, floor manager. I was kind of getting burnt out. Love what I do, will never change it. I'm just very outgoing. I love meeting people, and I love celebrating with people. So that part of it was kind of starting to get to me. And then, our last night was New Year's Eve at Zen. And then the next day we're in there and we're basically clearing the place out, and then the demo starts and they're just knocking everything down. And I'm like, my uncle was a contractor. We had an amazing interior designer. So when I looked at the pictures, it's different when you look at it at first and then you see it come together.
Oh, I know. I know exactly that.
But I did have about a 3.5 month hiatus after 25 years being in the restaurant business. Before that, I was a managing partner at the Buddha Bar before I opened up Zen. So basically for 25 years of my life, I spent 5-6 nights a week in a restaurant. And then, from January till we opened last month, every night I'm like, what do I do with myself? I was lost. So on the nights, so my son, I usually have him 3 nights a week, Sunday, Monday, Thursdays.
Uh-huh.
So those nights were always normal. But the other nights I was always at the restaurant.
Right.
So I started going out to every restaurant around town.
Yeah.
And kind of getting ready because we were going to do a new staff. Tracy, our general manager, she actually opened up Zen with me back in 2006.
Wow.
And she's probably the most amazing attention to detail. I mean, she did all of Michael restaurants. She was at Four Seasons, Montage. So it's high and elevated service to the night. So I told Nushi, the first thing I said, well, I'm not doing anything without Tracy. We need to go get her. I don't care what it costs, what we have to do.
We need her. Part of the dream team.
We took her to Key Sushi, had dinner, and then she put her 2 weeks in at North Vance Country Club. She was running North Vance Country Club.
Wow. So
she started with us, and like she said, the chef was amazing. One good thing with that time was we had a lot of time to really put a good team together. We interviewed 178 bartenders, busboys, servers, from pretty much the best from town. And
they had a job fair set up at my law firm, and the lobby, everything, literally just people were coming in and out.
That is unbelievable.
So we interviewed, and then, with the training, it actually worked out because we were going to try to open April 1st. We ended up opening April 14th. But
pretty close.
It was pretty close, but the 2 weeks of it was a lot of just training, hands-on training. Sure. I mean, my favorite part was trying all the specialty cocktails that we have.
Oh,
Trying
right.
to perfect those.
You have to perfect the craft
Yeah,
in your soft opening.
everything was new. So it was in so many ways. It was it was starting a new restaurant. The space was there. Pretty much that's it. And the menu completely different. And our staff, basically, I think minus 4 or 5 people, everyone was new. But the new system, steps of service, how we were going to do it, our policies, everything was new. I mean, everything. So, and for me, I've obviously never opened a restaurant before. So I'm like, okay, how do we do it? How do we train them and get to where we are delivering service the day that the door opens? And thankfully, Tracy had done it so many times, and it was unbelievable when I would sit back and watch the transformation of the staff and the crew with her under her wing. It's been wonderful. And then same for chef. I mean, chef had to get a kitchen together, had to get, how all of these new menu items were going to be made, prepared, and he redid everything in that kitchen. I mean, the kitchen, I walked in, I was like, oh my goodness, like everything is marked, every station is marked. You have a picture of what everything is supposed to look like. He has very strict procedures, because I'm picking up a lot of Spanish these days, so I'm understanding a lot of what's being said. And it's just, there were so many moving parts to it. And then on top of that, construction. So it's like, so we didn't have a space that was ready, and we didn't have a staff that had already been trained. So we had to kind of juggle and do both. And so with all of that, I think we opened, and, I always say I'm a perfectionist, but I have realistic expectations of perfection. And the restaurant business is very challenging, and putting a new team together is very challenging. And all I ask for is you do your best. Like, you commit to doing your best, and everything else is going to follow. And I believe that we're heading it down that road. And I do think that's the feedback that we're getting. It's Westlake Village. You're always going to get some people that are going to find something to complain about, and that's
People know what they like here.
Yeah.
Very particular.
Very particular about their
Very
taste,
particular.
specific taste.
And for me, it's really hard because, like I said, I've always been on the other end of it, and I've gone to very, very high-end restaurants. I've traveled. I've been to the best hotels, the best everything. And I'm a very easygoing person, like super, super easy. And it just blows my mind. But that's not, our job is to do our best to give the best service and make everyone feel at home and that they're part of this community. And we're gonna keep doing that. I can guarantee you that the intention behind everything at that restaurant was from a place of, we want to do the best. There was no cutting corners, and you can see it when you walk in. I mean, my uncle, who was in charge of construction, I think got sick and tired of the calls, because he would come in. The last thing he did, so we had this beautiful outside bar. So one of the goals is to create a lot of opportunities for communal dining. So we had our fire pit that was extended out so that we could actually sit around and eat it. People can sit and eat at a communal table, and then we had this gorgeous outside bar. And we didn't realize that the slant was such that no matter what stools we got, they would come up to here in the bar. So we were like, okay. So we tried to get
changed last week.
We got custom made seat cushions. We tried to do this. We tried to find. My uncle was sitting there one day with a glass of wine. He's like, "We cut the bar." I'm like, "What do you mean you cut the bar?" "We cut the bar." "You're closed Monday?" "Yes." We cut the bar. Sure enough, literally by Tuesday dinner service the following week, we have a fully functional outdoor bar that now people are sitting and loving it. And when I watch, I'm like, wow, like this couple is chatting with this couple is chatting with.
Like, it's the moments that you wanted to create.
Yeah.
That was the whole thing when I was at Zen, with so many, your regulars become your family.
Right.
I mean, some of them, especially right behind the parking lot of Zen, there's the homes there on the lake. And a lot of these, and then there's literally a key where you open up and you walk right through to go to your home. So a lot of our regulars actually live there, and they come in every day, 5 days a week, they're at the restaurant. So you kind of get to know them. They become family members. It kind of became like a Cheers bar. Everybody knows everybody.
So great.
And that was the biggest thing. If somebody wants to come in, sometimes people might be like, well, I don't want to go out by myself. But it's never like that there.
Right. You
It's
can
always
show
just
up
you,
alone and see your friends there.
Your friends are there,
Yeah.
your regulars are there. So that was the thing that I really wanted to do. And then, like she said, the outside bar, the community table, things like that. It's really like a month in, I've never seen anything like it.
It's so like for people that don't know the family the way I do, I feel this and I need to make sure I say it because I feel it and I see it. It's such an authentic expression of who your family is authentically, which is just the energy. For example, the energy Mel brought into our studio today was that of community, warmth, love, high energy, detail oriented, all of these qualities that, you know, you feel just by being friends with your family. It really, like, I sense that same ethos coming through in your bar, your restaurant, your everything, your purpose and your vision. It's so clearly aligned with who your family is. And I have a question actually about going back to your family too. I don't want to miss the chance to honor your father as well as your mom in all of this, because that is such, your family roots is so much a part of the purpose and the vision, and it's so important, and feeling your dad's spirit obviously reinforces that. Who in your family is like the warm, like this sense of warmth that we're talking about, the collective, the community, the spirit of celebration? Where does that come from? I'm sure, I know the Persian culture is that is an overwhelming part, I feel like, of the Persian culture, but also your individual family. Can you just speak a little bit about, is that your dad's influence, your mom's? Where does it come from?
I mean, I don't remember my father as much. Rouz can probably speak to him, but from what I know is he was always the life of the party, always. Mm-hmm. Everybody loved him. He was one of the most selfless people. I was told a story, like if someone came up, like he would literally give the shirt off of his back to somebody if that's what they needed. And he was incredibly generous. He was born in a tiny village. Literally, they didn't have proper electricity. They didn't have phone lines. Like he built the phone lines in that area, his little village. His parents were not educated. They weren't literate. They didn't really encourage him to go to school. He did that because he wanted to, and he became really successful as a chemical engineer, and did really, really well in his short lifetime, which is why we have the opportunities that we have today. So he was a very shrewd business person, incredibly hardworking, but a really good time. My mom, I would say, is just that everyone refers to as an angel. She is a ball of light, of love. Her house is where everyone comes together. She will cook for however many people, and she makes it look like it's nothing, you know? And I would say that where we get that togetherness and that, you know, that feeling of that like warmth and community, and we support each other and we're there for each other, is from her and my uncle, her brother. I think they really instilled that in us. And growing up in that, money comes and goes, everything in life comes and goes. Your family, your health, and the love that you share and the experiences that you share, and walking next to each other in this life that has so many ups and downs, that is what's gonna matter. And we're very fortunate because that's literally rooted in us, and now rooted in YAR.
Agree 100%.
As you became the man of the house very, very too young. And I, you know, it's funny, we were saying sort of before we started filming that I have boy, girl, girl, and that's that, you know, you're number one, as I call my kids, baby one, baby two, Mel's baby three. So losing your dad and everything you're seeing in Iran, which I want to talk to both of you about because I want to tie it directly to your restaurant as well. What has that been like for you? How has it either motivated you? Because I recently lost my mom about a year ago, and I'm asking, thank you. And so I think I just don't want to gloss over the loss of your dad, because I think that I can sense that he's still here and a pivotal part of all of your story and your foundation.
Yeah, for me, he's always been present. As far as like I could always feel it whenever there was a crossroad in my life or any part that I didn't know what decision to make. I felt like it just kind of was made for me.
Right. I feel that with my mom.
Yeah. So my uncle, when he came here, I mean, he basically became my dad. I mean, I named my son after my uncle. That's how. So he helped in every way possible. And, you know, I think we just brought our family closer. I think that's what it did. And then, But yeah, I mean, I didn't have that much time with him. You know, he traveled a lot when I was younger, and then when we came here, the best time I had was it took us about 6 months to leave Iran and come here. That was like the closest I got to him. Like we went to the south of France, we went to Switzerland, go to soccer games, we'd go just like, because he had a lot of businesses overseas. So, you know, I'd go to Zurich. He'd give me a soccer ball and throw me in the hotel room and then go do this thing and then come out and then we'd go out and see the city.
And how old were you at that
I
time?
was 10 to 11.
So you
during
have
that time.
memories, some memories there.
Yeah, especially that summer, like we traveled together. We went, you know, with the families. We went to the south of France. We went different places. It just, I wish he was, you know, we had more time with him.
Of course.
Yeah.
I know. I had a moment with my dad when, by the way, my audience is used to crying. So you're in a very safe, cozy, and deeply spiritual place, just so you know. And I can feel your dad here too. But I had this epiphany when I turned to my dad. It was my mom's last week of life. And we were upstairs in their room and I was getting something for my mom because she wasn't mobile at that time. And my dad said to me, because I said, I'm just not ready. And I'll never forget. He said, I lost my mom when she was 95 and a half. And I wasn't ready either. And it was in that moment that I realized for the first time that we're never ready. It doesn't matter. And it shocked me because when you're a child and you see like, oh, my grandfather dies, you think your parents, like, you think it's just normal. It's the way of life. It just was a shocking epiphany I had that, oh, we're never ready.
Right.
It doesn't matter. It's never going to be enough time. But then I think about you guys losing your father when you're literally little children. I mean, you were not even teenagers. And it's just heartbreaking. And that's why I wanted to make sure that we get to highlight and honor him, because I sense from your family that even that decision for him to move you here is something that changed your lives forever. And you still firmly are fighting to make sure that you honor that and you don't take it for granted. And I think that is such a testament to your dad and your mom and your entire really your community back in Iran as well. And I just think it's so beautiful. And like, I also just want to celebrate and, honor that. So it just comes through so strongly as you guys are talking. And I just want to honor and celebrate that because it's just so beautiful. And without getting into all of the, too much of it, I guess, as you're talking and your dad having the insight, especially having the girls, to say, I want to move, because you weren't actually in a state that you had to move, right, at that time, which so many people were previously in the 70s.
Yeah.
What does it mean to you, reflecting on what's happening in Iran now? The fact that your dad had this forward thinking, I mean, that must be like mind-boggling. Like, what is this? How are you making sense of that right now?
I mean, so we would travel to Iran every summer. Like up until I graduated law school in 2004, I would go, and Rouz came a few times as well. And I just remember every time I would travel back and see, because Iran isn't what now with social media, it's a little bit, you get a glimpse of the culture and the family and how families are versus what the media could portray. It's a very warm and loving place. We have the best family there, always have so much fun. It's literally like from one house party to another house party with your family, and there's dancing and there's dining and there's connecting. But the lack of opportunities, the economic hardships, the lack of freedoms are so in your face. And when I was younger, it was more confusing because it was almost like you were taught that the United States hates Iran and Iran hates the United States. But then being a dual citizen, traveling back and forth, you see that there are more things that actually connect us, and there are more similarities than there are differences. And that was very confusing over time. But it was just really obvious that the freedom that I had, the life that I lived as a woman especially, there was no way. And I came from a family that allowed me to make my life choices. Our culture is very particular when it comes to marriage and when you should get married and when you should have kids. And I was engaged at a very young age, and it just wasn't for me. And I'm so grateful I came from a family that supported me in pursuing what I want, because I'm really happy in my life. I wouldn't have been able to do my law firm. I wouldn't have been able to do Kauai. I wouldn't have been able to do this adventure. My life would have been different, and I wouldn't have had the opportunity. And I'm grateful because I got to live here and have those opportunities, and I got to be from a family that, instead of pushing me to fit into something I did not, encouraged me to explore the things that made me different and what I could bring and contribute to the world and to society. And I'm so forever grateful in that. And, you know, this last year in Iran has been one war after one war, and it's been a lot of social unrest. There has been a lot of mass killings within the country. There have been a lot of human rights abuses that have carried on this 40 plus years. And that's incredibly devastating to watch and witness. And I am so grateful that for the opportunities that we've been given, that was one of the things was, okay, how do we in the slightest of ways give back? One is create a safe space in the community that isn't just about, it's a restaurant, we're turning them in and out. No, it's something different. We're doing restaurant differently. And the second, honoring this beautiful culture that we're from, this culture that outdates the government that's been there for 45, 6 years. You know what I mean? That's not Iran. Iran is the place that the most beautiful poetry and art and math and science, and it birthed all this greatness. And even now, with all the oppression that's happening there are so many great minds that are coming out and flourishing from the most resilient population. And I want people to talk about that. And if it's indirectly from a restaurant that's based on this culture and this hospitality so that people can learn more, and we're slowly going to introduce elements of our culture in it, then I'll take it. And every opportunity I get, I like to talk about it. I'm from a place that I believe that we share more in common than our differences. And unfortunately, we live in a time where those differences are manipulated to create division. And I want to do everything that I can through love, through the spaces that I create, through the businesses that I own, through the family that is mine, through the friendships in the community, to counteract that with just love, togetherness, support, being there for each other, understanding each other, accepting one another.
Right. And food is such a perfect way to bring people together around different cultures. I mean, we own a Jewish deli, obviously, so we know it's comfort food for everybody, right? So there's something really special about bringing your authentic culture forward and your family history and putting your name out there. I mean, very similar to our family. It's very personal, and that's why I wanted to make sure that we're shining light on each of you and your history and your family and your culture, because you know, it's with your soul that you're birthing this beautiful new restaurant. And so quick rapid fire, if I might.
Okay.
Each of you, I want an answer from. So at your restaurant, so for those of us that are getting to go to YAR for the first time, which I cannot wait to go, I'm truly so excited to go. Okay, what is your favorite drink?
Favorite drink?
One of your favorite cocktails, or it could be non-alcoholic.
Oh, I like a good drink. I think I would probably go. Oh no, that's a tough one. They're all so good. I would probably go with the YAR Margarita.
Okay.
I like a good tequila drink.
Okay, good. What type of tequila's in there?
We use the Fortaleza Reposado.
Right. Okay.
Got good stuff. A lot of good ingredients. Everything is made fresh.
Yeah.
And not only that, like, I mean, I've been doing this for so long, I've never seen anything like it. Like Nushi, I've gone out all around the world, restaurants, wherever I go, just watching the kitchen and the chef working together. I mean, we have a baker that comes in at 4:30 in the morning, makes all the desserts, the bread, everything for the day.
Wow.
And we do it again the next day. And so when you guys come and visit today and take the boat out, you got to make sure to come in and at least have dessert. I know you already had lunch here, but you got to come at least try the dessert.
We're going to twist your arm.
I was going to say, please don't threaten me with a good time. I'll be there, baby. Okay.
Saffron 75 too.
Yeah, just that.
But we'd have to.
Saffron
we might
75.
get a couple of drinks in you too.
Okay.
I'm gonna ask you this
Friday.
question shortly.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you know.
I'm a martini girl. And I'm a creature of habit, and I'm very, very simple. Like, I like my kettle and martini very, very well shaken, that it like looks like an ice skating rink, you know?
Yes.
It's either
Yes.
or a twist depending on what I'm eating.
Side
And
of
I have to
fries.
say, our bartenders, like, and I have a martini everywhere I go, and I never complain, I never say anything back, but I'm super picky inside, and we have the best martinis in town, and I even got the most beautiful martini glasses because so much of the experience is that. But
yeah,
if I
that
had
is
to
important.
choose, yeah, if I had to choose something off of our menu, it's actually a drink that was recently added, the Mediterranean Muse. So I'm not a gin drinker. This is so refreshing. It's like there's mint in there. There's like muddled milk, mint, basil, fresh lime juice with gin, and I think a little bit of agave, and it is fantastic. And yeah,
The cocktails are very,
and in
I
a
call it
Nick and Nora
dangerous.
glass, so it's so beautiful.
Oh my gosh, I love it. Okay, then can you talk about some of the highlighted dishes that we should be making sure we don't miss? What not to miss at YAR when we go there?
For me, it's the dry aged Branzino. So it's something that I didn't even know they can do. Like everybody's had dried aged steak.
Right, I thought you were going to say steak
No,
when you
the
were
chef
saying
was
that.
like, "Come on, do it. I got this whole Branzino. He does this whole Branzino. He ages it for 14 days."
Wow.
And then, so that is
I didn't even know
one of
you
my
could do that.
favorites.
Yeah, I didn't-
back. He had this fridge and he's showing it, and it's like it has salt on the bottom, and it like with the. I mean, I honestly, I don't know. It's amazing.
I'm super excited to try that.
And
Okay.
all the steaks are phenomenal. Like the quality of the meat. I mean, we get the best ingredients, and then chef just the perfection to detail. Like he's got like an electric thermometer that everybody uses, so like nothing gets overcooked or undercooked. Everything gets cooked perfectly.
I need to ask you about that because my electric thermometer seems to always be broken, and I bought 3 of them. So I need a little. I need a little tutorial.
He's gonna be there, so we'll come.
Okay.
You'll get to meet him today.
Great.
He'll be there.
I would say the bread, because all of it is made in house and it's fantastic. This olive oil and this cultured butter are YAR chips, so they're lightly breaded and fried. Zucchini and eggplant on tzatziki, which is to die for. Our dips, the 3 Mediterranean dips with the fresh naan bread that's in house. And then it's so funny, last night I went out in LA and I ordered calamari, and I had a bite, and I'm not going to say where, but it was a very high-end restaurant. I had a bite and I'm like, that's frozen. That was breaded and frozen and de-thawed. And our calamari is so fresh, so fan. I remember at our first tasting, I had it and I'm like, I feel like I'm in Europe, you know? It is so fresh. It's not frozen, and it is like it's breaded and made right there to order. So that would be that. And then I love our salmon sashimi and then our salmon dish. I absolutely love to. And then we have really great assorted vegetables that people love. Like there's amber and beets, salad, and then one thing that it is so good that maybe I don't know how else we need to tell is the hen of mushroom. Maybe it's because that's what it's called. I don't know, but it is. I've never eaten a mushroom that tastes like this before. It is fantastic.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guess what? I just had an idea. My birthday is in early July, and guess where I'm having it?
You gotta have it at
YAR, baby.
YAR.
Let's go.
You're a
Yes.
4th of July baby, right?
Yes, great memory. That's exactly
I was gonna
right.
be in Hawaii, but maybe I'm gonna stay
Well,
and
we can
celebrate
finagle the
you,
dates.
and then I can go after.
Or I'll come with you and just chaperone you to Kauai as I'm sobering up and digest.
I need it. I'm going on Sunday. You're welcome to join me.
Oh my gosh, that sounds amazing. Well, I just want to say thank you. It's so great to have you guys here. And I really just respect how you've come together, how you've made such intentional decisions with your time and your resources, your careers, incorporating your history, your family, your vision, and having such a strong A team and the way you've done it. I cannot wait to go check it out. And we'll link everything that people need to find you in the show notes. So where can people stalk, follow, investigate YAR Restaurant?
So our Instagram has been doing tremendously well. So it's YAR on the Lake, and then our website is YAR on the Lake. I think those would be the 2 best places to start. We haven't even done any type of real advertising just because there's been so much traction on that. But yeah, and I just want to say, I really want to commend you on what you have created here.
Thank
and
you.
I'm so grateful that you allowed us to be a part of it and for having us to speak about our baby in this community, and with friends for lifelong friends. I think it's safe to say, right? So
It is very safe to say.
really, really appreciate it.
If you want to call me, a cousin or, something of the sorts, that's fine too. I just want to throw that out there.
We're all cousins.
Exactly.
I know how the Persian community works, so I just want to make sure I get to
You're
claim
our
that.
cousin
Right?
Persian.
Okay, great.
You got it.
Well, thank you, Rouz. Congratulations. Thank you, Mehrnoush. We love the Yazdanyars. Melody, I'm your biggest stalker and biggest fan, so love to you as always, to your mom, honoring your dad and celebrating all of your family's success. Just thank you and just congratulations.
Thank you
so much.
Thank
All
you for having me.
right. Yes, my pleasure. And everybody, please check out YAR on the Lake, especially if you are in town visiting or if you're a local resident, and make sure that you give them 10 stars on Yelp.
Yes, please.
And please join us next week, and we look forward to seeing you then. Take care.
All right, that is it for today. Thank you very much for listening, and be sure to follow us at Iconic Nation Media and send us a direct message and comment on some of our posts so that we can hear your feedback and incorporate them into our show. We appreciate you listening, and we look forward to catching you next week.